Hey Pat, I'm still getting ready, finishing my lunch, but we'll be going soon. Letting the room warm up as much as I can. How are you doing today? My computer's running slow. It's so cold out here. All right, I should be getting pretty close. Got enough cut, I think, for the second arm and the two second parts of the feet. Or the legs. We're gonna finish up our shelf elf. Can't call it elf on the shelf because I think that's taken. Our shelf elf. This is a more traditional shelf elf because there's no face. Maybe we'll draw one on later. All right. It's a little chilly today. Everything's moving a little bit slow. I don't see the chat on my PC, so you'll have to bear with me if it doesn't work. I don't know why I'm not seeing it. Uh-oh. All right. Get my safety glasses on. Why am I not seeing the chat? Open panel. Hang on. All right. We'll just go. There we go. All right. Let's go. All right. Thingy bopper for the doohickey. Yes. I'm gonna switch. This is a little bit punky. I'm gonna switch live centers because that is just continuing to drive in there, and it's eventually gonna split. It's a little too aggressive. That guy is. If I was holding it in the chuck, I could use it, but we're between centers, so that's what we're gonna do. How's the feed? Is it working? Because my computer that follows the chat is not keeping up, and I usually attach it to a different network so I don't cut my bandwidth, and I think that's what's going on. I hope. All right, so a lot of you will say, why do I start with such big pieces if I'm going narrow? I might restart this computer. It is not working. And that's because I'm using firewood. It's hard to know what you're gonna get with firewood. So I always start about twice as big as what I need. Okay, we need I'm going to need 2 pieces, so I can get probably 3 out of this. Split this into thirds. That's the guy we're making. We're going to finish the legs and this arm so he doesn't look so funny. All right, I think that'll work. Cut these in a little bit more. Like I said, this is just a demonstration, I guess. So I'm not really gonna do a lot of sanding. I'm not gonna do any sanding. But you could add color, you could do sanding, all of that stuff. Definitely at this point. Reasons I like my skew. I love using the skew. This is the skew on spindle turning. Number one, it's easy to sharpen. It's just straight. And number two, it's hard to use, so you have to constantly practice. And I like to do hard things. And number three, it just gives you such a nice cut. Like, I really don't have to sand that. Okay, I'm gonna fixing to lose these as I cut them off. I'm gonna cut them over here. Let's do this. One. I need 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 4, so we'll put these on and then do the last one. Two. Okay. The rounded grind. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's fine. And I do, like, if you have the right tools, that's definitely easier, which I have. But I just love using the skew. There's something about when you get that good, when you find that perfect angle and it just puts that perfect edge on it. So anyway, welcome in, Todd, Colton, Victor, Pat, Lee Harris is in. So if I were doing this for real, and I might make one of these for real, I would have the wood in the cut, and I would do the drilling on the lathe instead of into my hand. But this is a low speed drill, so we're gonna be all right. All right, we are making this guy, and I have to finish his legs and his left arm. So that's what we're doing today. Started it yesterday. Good Joe. Thanks for coming in. Okay. Grit. Oh, CBN. Do you hone your lathe tools? I don't do any of that. Okay. Let's put him right here. We'll put him holding on for dear life. Okay, so what I'm using for connecting is just wire. I have this, it's very stiff braided wire. And I'm actually using it in the jacket so it stays black. So let's put them in the legs. We need 2 pieces. That's too short. Get that out of here. Okay. Get my super glue, CA glue. I'm using CA glue from Satellite City. Focus. No focus. Too cold to focus today. Let's do a couple drops in there. There we go. Now, I'm not 100% sure that the CA glue is going to stick with this. I probably should use epoxy. And actually, there's glue all over him from putting it in how I'm doing it. So there's probably better ways, I'm sure. But this is just for demonstration purposes. And like I said yesterday, I encourage you to try to do it your own if you have a lathe. And send me your pictures. I'd love to see it. If you don't have a YouTube channel or record what you do, I encourage you to do that. Just to see how you've progressed. Like, I've been doing this for 5 years now. And when I go back and watch the earlier ones, I'm like, wow. Some of them are good, and I'm like, how did I know how to do that? At that point, I had no idea what I was doing. So there's our way out of proportion legs. Yeah, Elf on the Shelf, kind of like a shelf elf, because Elf on the Shelf, I think, is taken. Put him there. All right, and let's do the first part of his arm. And I think we'll have time to do feet and hands. I wasn't sure, but this is going pretty quick. There's the first part of his arm. Let's get a piece of wire in there. Might as well put, oh, I didn't drill that hand. I drilled the feet. So we'll do, might as well put wire in for the feet and hands. And I do have spray to accelerate this, but the timing in between making allows it to cure. In there. There. All right, so we're ready. Let me go ahead and drill this. Hopefully I can do that without breaking anything. Okay. Put another piece in there. All right, now we're ready to go. So I need one more. I need the forearm on this side, and then 2 hands and 2 feet. All right, set him aside. And he is posable because I used wire. It's posable. Where'd that come up? Okay. All right, get another piece in there. This one, I think I'm going to clean it off and then put it in the chuck because I want to be able to turn off a bunch of pieces. So we'll start out between centers. The skew, hone the skew. So I wondered, I don't do that. I'd never seen it, but it probably would help. And some guys, like when they cut, you're like, man, that tool's sharp. It's very sharp. And the skew would be easy to hone. I'm not sure I'm going to do that to my bowl gouge. All right. Let's make this round. Okay, I think that'll fit in my chuck. If you have a wood turning or woodworking channel, go ahead and put it in the chat or mention it so everyone can go check it out. I want to promote everybody I can. That might be too small. Close. It might work. We'll see. It might fly out. 6 and 1. See if we can get it to work. right, this is our last arm piece. Nice. Okay. Put a piece of wiring there. And I'm using wire. You could probably use like yarn. You could almost use anything. Depends on how stiff you want it. Like if you want to pose it or if you want it to just sit and lean. If you want to hang it, and it would probably clatter. That's not the piece. Where's my piece? Uh-oh. I knocked it off. Didn't I? Oh, no. I need the wire. Okay. Where did I put the wire? I don't know. Cut it. All right. So we've got our arms and legs. Now let's make some feet and hands for our shelf elf. All right, I am going to turn this smaller and then take it, hopefully that'll hold. Turned it a little bit too small for the chuck, but we'll see what happens. So I'm going to go probably about that big, a third of that diameter. All right, there's our shoes. Okay. Pull my sleeve back so it doesn't catch my sleeve. There's one. I'm a little surprised this piece held in the chuck because it's bare. You can see the chuck is nearly closed completely, if not completely. All right, there's our second. These are the shoes for our elf. And again, you probably want to do a little more sanding. Okay, I'm going to trim these wires a little bit shorter because I didn't drill in very far. So I might spray paint this one when I'm all done, just because I didn't do color. Oh, still got the wire a little bit too long, but that's all right. He's wearing some high waters. I should have put color on as I was turning, but trying to go quicker. Someday maybe I'll make one a little bit slower. There we go. Okay, so he's got feet. You can pose him. You can move everything. It'll remember. And it's just like little cones. And then I flattened both sides. So very simple. All right, let's do some hands. And then we'll be done. So what do you think? Is this something like, if I put color on the hat, if I had to put color on the rest of it, is this something you would put like in your house, or is it kind of junky looking? I don't know. I suppose if I took more time and made it a little bit better, it'd probably be a little more presentable. Oh, come on. Come on, fit it. There we go. So again, this is firewood. I don't really process it very much. I don't take a lot of time to cut it up in perfect cubes. We just turn it. We stick it on and turn it. And usually it works. Now, also, if this comes out of the chuck, it's not a huge piece, so there's not a lot of energy there. All right, I'm going to go down to about the same size. I don't typically use carbides, but for live streams, it's so fast. So that's why we're using carbides. Thank you, Todd. All right, I'm going to ask your opinion. We're doing hands. We have this elf that we're making. I have a couple options. I can cut off, like part off circles and drill the side and put on a circle, kind of like like a flat hand. Or I can make a round sphere and put a sphere on it. Or I can make it oval and sand it flat. What do you think? What would you see? What would you rather see on there? I was thinking spheres, but then I was like, oh, I could do some other things. Let's start with spheres and see what that looks like. Kind of a combination. By the way, this is cherry, so it cuts very easy. Great for a live stream. I don't have to fight with it too much. All right. Tomorrow, just for a bit of business, tomorrow I will not be doing a live stream. I need to get an oil change in my truck, and it's scheduled at 10 o'clock. So I don't know. I'll say I might not be doing a live stream. Depends on how quick they can get the oil change done. That's one. Tomorrow might not do a live stream. I don't know. I have to, we'll see how long. I gotta get an oil change. Oh, and it's scheduled at 10 o'clock, an hour before I usually live stream. So it might work, but it might not. But if I don't do one tomorrow, I'll do one Friday. Okay. We are almost done. We're gonna put the hands on. This is hands on. Let's get this out of here. Move this out of here. So you guys, like every day after the live stream, I go back to work covered in rubble. It's kind of funny. Put that on there. There's one hand. It kind of looks like a hand. He has really long arms. He's probably an Olympic swimmer. Put the second hand on. All right, there is our shelf elf, a wood elf. Very weird, creepy proportions. So I probably should do a little bit. Just wipe CA on my work pants. Should do some more figuring for the proportions and like draw them out. But if you put him standing up, it's kind of in proportion. Yeah, that's not too bad. Not too bad. Where do your arms usually go down to about half calf, half thigh? Okay. Yeah, so there you go. There's a elf, posable, made on the lathe. Every single part's made on the lathe. The connective tissue, I guess, is just wire. Is a very stiff braided wire, not solid core, but you could use like solid core copper to make him bendy. You can do pretty much anything you want. You can make him muscular, skinny, different shoes, colors. I think it's kind of cool. I like this. And yeah, I might go paint it, probably with a brush. I said spray paint, but I think I will probably use a brush and make him red and white. But there you go. There's your little elf, lathe elf. And oh, it is afternoon, so I gotta head. I gotta get back to work. It's past my time. I do this live stream during my lunch hour, and then I drive back to work. So check out the channel, subscribe, definitely like, comment, all that good stuff. We appreciate having everybody in, and check us out. We tomorrow's iffy. I have an appointment to run an hour before the live stream, so we might be in, we might not, but we'll see. Green and red, green and red and white. Yeah, you could do green. Elves wear green, right? Santa wears red. All right. So thanks for coming in. You have purpose, you have value, and you are loved. Thanks for coming in. God bless.